All right, you guys. Find your name tag, Rebels.
We are ready to begin with UNLV. We have student athletes Brooke Johnson, Paris Strother, Dakota Gonzalez, Coach Kathy Olivier. Coach, if we can start with you and just get your thoughts on tonight's game.
Okay, so I just felt like we had one of our best complete games of the season. We had so many options out there, and when our defense plays with that kind of intensity and that kind of effort, our defense creates our offense, and it kind of opened the game up. And this team has so many options, and that's what makes us a good basketball team. It's not just one player, it's several players. For us to have 4 people in double figures and to play that kind of tenacious defense is pretty much what Lady Rebels are all about.
Thank you, Coach. We'll now take questions for the student athletes first.
Coach, first meeting, or for any of the players, 55-53 in overtime, second game, you lose 58-49. Tonight, as you said, the offense really picked up the defense, turned it into offense for you. What was different, though, that you couldn't get done in the first 2 games? What was so motivating? Was it the tournament itself? Was it time to prepare?
For one of these gals, or?
Yeah, any one of the players.
Okay.
I would say that, you know, one thing that we definitely take a lot of pride in here is our defense, and nothing but respect for Utah State. But as far as we go, I don't think we put our best foot forward defensively in the first 2 games that we played against them, and we definitely came into this game understanding that, but not letting it be something that hindered us. We used it as a motivation to come out and to have that defensive intensity tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Paris, for you in first quarter, really the first half, it seemed but you're a little apprehensive as far as your aggressiveness, which is something that you worked on coming into the season, and you became very aggressive. Mm-hmm. Was part of that possibly the tension between the teams, and then finally you got comfortable because then you opened up and you really started grabbing rebounds in the second half?
I think some of it has to do with my recent foul calls that I've been getting lately, so I kind of just want to make sure that I stay in the game and don't take myself out by getting more fouls. But at the end of the day, I have to realize that I am an aggressive player, so still play aggressive but play smart, and I think that's what came out more so in the second half.
We're here.
Dakota, just yesterday we were talking about, you know, that loss to Fresno State last year and the sting of that. So obviously, you know, revenge is kind of on the mind. What's different about this team that, you know, will enable you guys to get that revenge?
Yeah, I would say that this team is just a special team overall, and we're definitely kind of like I spoke with you the other day. We used those feelings that we had in that loss last year throughout, I think, this entire season, and I think that's what's been able to get us so much success is because we've found ourselves facing certain adversities that are very difficult for any team to overcome, and we've been able to really come together and pull out a lot of difficult wins, and I think that coming up with Fresno, having that in mind of last year and everything, we're going to kind of come up with that same mindset of just staying together, and this group has done such an incredible job of that throughout the entire season, and I have no doubt that we'll do our best tomorrow to make sure we all have that same mindset.
Go ahead, over here, then we'll come back to you.
Brooke, for you, it seems that you seemed a lot more patient this year in terms of whether you're going to take a shot, pass the ball off, and you seem to hit your stride at the right time. It's like timely, and when you hit one, and then you just take off and you get hot. What's been the difference for you, and why you just seem to get in a groove and you go? I think tonight you set a school record for a Mountain West tournament game for threes.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I feel like I've been a little more hesitant rather than patient. There have been games where I've just gone full force and missed quite a few shots, and then there's been games where I haven't taken any shots and been overly passive. So tonight I just tried to find that balance and take a shot when I was open, and once I hit one, I was feeling comfortable enough to take another one and pass when I needed to.
Right here.
Hey, Dakota, talk about defense. I believe it was 13 steals. You had 8 of them. Which that number jumped out at me when I saw it. Did the ball kind of seem bigger on the defensive end where you get batted away so easily, or just talk about it?
Yeah, I would say that honestly, my teammates made it so almost effortless to get those steals because they did such an incredible job on our defensive rotations. We focus so much on that in practice, and we drill it every single day. And when they're able to get those rotations and get those stops, it makes it easy for me to kind of get in position and get those steals. And I would say that as far as on-ball pressure goes, I definitely took that to heart to really pressure the ball because I know that for myself personally, I did not have very great games against Utah State, both showings. So I really just wanted to do what I could defensively to lead the team. That was kind of my main focus today, and my teammates definitely helped me out with that, and I'm super proud with the outcome.
Yeah. And Brooke, I wanted to ask you, jumping off of Willie's question, great shooting night, but just what feels different? It's tournament time now. You obviously stepped up today. What felt different out there for you now that you're in Mountain West play?
Well, I mean, we're used to the Thomas and Mack gym. We love that gym, and so I just kind of feel comfortable in there, and it's our own area. Other than that, it's just when one goes, it starts to get a feel for the rim, for the game, and that's kind of how I go from it. If I miss a shot, I'm going to try and drive in a couple times, and since I didn't miss a three, I didn't have to drive as much tonight.
Paris, for you, sort of a repetitive question, but local girl, you got a bit of a hometown crowd. This is your second time around in the Mountain West tournament. Were you feeling a little more comfortable, less jitters, knowing you had that corner over there cheering for you and sort of being the hometown? I think Coach Capps was here too.
Yeah. It feels great. I just love, playing in front of my hometown and, all of my people. And as far as being in the Mountain West tournament for the second time, it's definitely feel more comfortable, but I just feel like the adrenaline in such a good way as far as like not being as timid like I was maybe last year, not knowing what to expect. And it's just a fun time of year. I'm excited to see where it takes us.
So, Coach, for you, all these positive points and positive remarks, big question here. 60 points from 4 players, 8 from 4 others. Is that a concern that you maybe need some more balance as far as from other players, or are you happy with the 4 main scorers?
I mean, I think that's our strength right now. We have so many options out there. As much as it was 4, we feel like the other people can score just as much. And when you talk about Brooks' threes, I thought we were moving the ball so well as a team. It was very obvious that it was about playing good basketball and not about me scoring. And when we do that, we play the defense that Dakota was talking about and move the ball, we're going to be a very tough basketball team to beat.
Any other questions for the student athletes or the coach? Here.
Coach, you saw Fresno State a week ago. Can you just run through what they're going to bring and what you need to do to counter them?
I mean, Fresno State's a good basketball team. They have a very good center inside that does a great job blocking shots. She's long, length. Help me, because I'm going to butcher her name.
Bagos.
There you go. But she's that presence inside, and we can't get intimidated by her, but she does an incredible job. And then they play a lot of zone, a lot of man. They mix it up, so we have to make sure that we're playing together as a team on the offensive end. And then do what we did the first time around. We've only played them once, which was kind of unusual because it's Fresno State and Boise were the 2 teams that we only played once this year. And the first time around, I thought we did a great job on the defensive end. So if we can come out with that defensive intensity that makes us successful, then hopefully we'll get that W.
Let's go back here.
Coach, I know the mood that you were in getting back from Logan last week, and you told me the players were even worse. So how easy was it for you to motivate them tonight?
It was easy. I mean, this group is a very competitive group. They're determined. No one was happy. I remember you guys had me on the radio right after, I think it was the next day, or actually it was that day we got home. And I mean, they're just a competitive group. They weren't happy. They weren't happy in the airport. They weren't happy after the game. And we just had a sour taste in our mouth, and everyone worked hard in practice. And it was actually kind of good for us to play Utah State because I knew that was on their mind. I mean, this is a team that always likes to pay back, so to speak. So Fresno State, I mean, that's going to be a complete different game. And we just prep for them, so we have to make sure that we continue to go with that kind of focus and that determination that we did have tonight.
And last, I know you don't want to say the wrong thing, but before you play, you see that the team, the 2 seed loses in front of you, the bracket's kind of laid out. Was there a little bump in, like, okay, now it's kind of laid out for us, just go out and take advantage tonight, and then tomorrow maybe becomes a little different?
Right. I mean, I would love to say that, and I hear you on that, but I think this team is just whoever is in front of us, let's go. And I feel strongly that the team thinks they could have won the Mountain West, and we were kind of, like I said, mad about losing to a couple teams that we shouldn't have. And they're excited about the tournament, and they're like, bring it. Like, it doesn't matter who we play against. And the Mountain West, I think it's a great conference this year because so many teams are capable of winning. So we have to make sure that we can't look, past anyone. And again, bring that defensive intensity that we've stressed all year, and then that's when good things happen.
Anything else? Okay, thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job. Excellent.
For Utah State, we have student athletes Shannon Duffy, Rachel Brewster, Coach Jerry Finkbeiner. Coach, if we can just start with you, get some thoughts on tonight's game.
Yeah. Well, we anticipate a very close game because we thought we should have won down here 2 months ago, and then we won at our place. So we anticipate a close game. And I tell the UNLV girls were ready. They had a good warm-up period. But the biggest denominator, our point guard didn't play. And our point guard handled the game in the last 2 games for us. And we played point guard position with our 2s and 3s all night long. So we had no ball handling. And UNLV, they seized upon it, as a good team does. They saw where our weakness was and went after our ball handlers, and we just couldn't handle the pressure. Eliza West, our little point guard, freshman player of the year, really handled the game up in Logan. Quick little girl, but she broke her hand that night. And so we've been trying to cover it. And 10 minutes in the game tonight, she just really hurt it. And so that's why she only got 10 minutes. So it's kind of a sad ending for our team, very, very young, sophomore and freshman up here. Most of the year we started the youngest lineup in the country in all Division I. And so I'm really proud of our team. We've had a really good year. And we thought we were going to win tonight. But we were severely handicapped from the 2 previous games we played, just couldn't handle the ball. And like I said, a good team will seize upon a weakness and exploit it. And I thought UNLV did a very good job with that, with the ball handling, with our pressure on our ball handlers.
Thank you, Coach. We'll now take questions right here.
My question is for Coach Finkbeiner. So I noticed Eliza didn't really play much in the second half. Did something happen that made her hand worse? Or? Yeah,
it was a broken hand coming into the game from the UNLV game. She got her hand stuck in a jersey and got her little finger separated from her ring finger and just snapped her bone right there. And the night just injured it probably one step further. And so she's a little warrior. Liza was Player of the Year freshman. Shannon was all freshman team. Rachel was all conference. So 3 good ones that we're going to build around for years to come. But yeah, Eliza couldn't go. Bless her heart, couldn't go. We disguised her against Air Force. Gave it a shot tonight, but something happened. I don't know the exact situation, but something happened. She said, Coach, it re-broke or broke, or I feel it snapping or something. So it wasn't. Just a tough thing for our team. Eliza plays 35 to 40 minutes a game and handles the ball. And I know Rachel and Shannon, their games are a lot harder to play without, getting the ball where they're expecting to get the ball. And I appreciate these two, what they did. But our kids, you know, from our perspective, it was a good season and really fought hard tonight, but we didn't have our quarterback. You know, just had to go to plan 2 and plan 3 and hadn't practiced much of our plan 2 and plan 3s.
Thank you.
Over here.
For either one of the players, what was plan 2 and plan 3? Which, before he said that, that was my thought. Was what exactly was, you know, every time out? What sort of things were you trying to do alternately without Eliza in the game? What were you hoping to accomplish in terms of schematics with your offense?
Well, we really just tried to keep doing what we would normally do with Eliza on the court, just with our backup point guards. And obviously it was tough, but, you know, UNLV did, like Coach said, did a good job of exploiting our weakness, and they had pretty good defense tonight. But, yeah, we really just tried to stick with our game.
Rachel, you seemed like you guys got off to a good start, and maybe that was part of having Eliza out there, but you were hitting your shots, and it just seemed like even when you got some looks, it just seemed like they got harder and harder to shoot. Mm-hmm. Was it part of it just a mind thing with not having her out there?
No, well, I think UNLV did a good job of guarding me. I wasn't really getting very open very often. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much all it was.
For either one of you, did you feel like once they got up, you know, double digits, to the whether it was the pressure or just the having to be able to score enough to come back, was it just a little bit too much to, especially without the point guard in there to help you sort of run things?
To be honest, I don't think we really ever dropped. It was hard not having Eliza, of course, but we did, like, we're used to being down. We've come back in a lot of games and won really close games. So, yeah, obviously it was really hard, and it was a big difference between the scores, but I think we did well with what we came back between.
Anything else for our student athletes or coach? One more. Let's go.
I mean, and obviously it's right after the fact, but is there a part of you all that feels like maybe going through this experience will be something that you can draw on later on? Because obviously most of you are going to be coming back, and you'll have, you know, the whole group pretty much back again for at least another 2 years.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the Mountain West tournament is a great experience for everyone, and especially having so many freshmen on the team. It's a great experience for them, and we have a lot to come back and work on. We all sort of know what we need to work on now. So, yeah, I think that's a really good thing for us going forward.
Anything else? Okay, thank you, Coach. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.